Sonkarra, the robber crow, also known as skin thieves, false owls, shark goblins, and those fucking things, are one of the only beastmen species hated by all races of man. These creatures are so wretched, so evil, that even an Aldrian and a Harkoresh spider will join forces to destroy a shark nest. The Sonkarra are not native to the eastern wilderness, not originally. When the Safaran men came from the south with their great ships, the Sonkarra came along as stowaways, with some even replaced members of the original crew. They bear the title of skin thief for a reason. Their drive, the unique strength of the Sonkarra, is the ability to steal flesh, the soul, and the knowledge of any sapient being they devour. The gods, perhaps as some sick joke, made the sharks uniquely suited to feeding on other men and little else. Wherever they go, they must also eat men, and consequently everyone wants them dead. Human, Angara, Garmian, Harkor, Argulin, Abarboa, Skidagor. Merely saying the word Sonkarra will make them band together to kill this pest. The original creatures were called Sukalo by the Safaran people, and they were relegated to existing on the outskirts of their many outposts during the Age of Three Kings. The sharks cannot reproduce, possibly survive, without immediate access to salt water, limiting how far inland they can travel. How they reproduce remains a mystery. They possess no genitalia, visible or otherwise. It is unknown if they create more of their kind by breathing life into clay like an imbuer, depositing parasitic spawn into victims like the Skirgor, splitting off their flesh like the Garmins, or singing them into existence like the Angara. The source of their current name is a misunderstanding. Though they predate the Angara by many generations, they only began to appear in the northern shores of Olokai, Aldaria, and Urkaya after Olsandan's appearance and corruption of the land between the regions. Though they do not do well in Namara's sky ocean, the environment fit them only just enough to enable them to travel north. There, the first interaction many locals had with them would have been after attacking the various Angara tribes. The shark are drawn to the owls and will prey on them over any other species. To the Altrians, they looked like a corrupted offshoot of the newly born Angara subspecies, and the name stuck. Their main strength lies in their drive. Through subterfuge and social engineering, they can stay hidden on the outer edges of a settlement, picking off its inhabitants one by one. The more flesh the shark consumes, the more convincing its disguise becomes, and at a certain point they can become almost indistinguishable from their victims. Worse, since they gain portions of their prey's knowledge, the disguise is even more convincing. The most cunning take this a step further and wear the skin of a chosen victim, like a driver's engine, melding with it. There are always details that are only visible in closer inspection. The color of the eyes, the oversized pupils, the misshapen teeth and bad breath, the hair that doesn't look just quite right. All of these, though, only become visible under close scrutiny, and a cornered Sonkarra is just as likely as not to simply devour the investigator and steal their identity. The simplest tell is the creature's channeling. They can only channel shadows, and poorly at that. The beast could never properly take root in Urkaya, where blood channeling is a universal constant. The Aldrians already practiced obsessive health and purity tests to protect themselves from spiritual impurities. Adjusting to the sharks was not difficult. But the Ikirkmen of Olahai suffered the worst from the creatures, living along the coastline with diminished blood channeling abilities, wet skin, and wearing almost full body cover at all times. A shark can go undetected for an unreasonable amount of time in their settlements. There are two primary subspecies, the robber crow and the robber raptor. The latter is significantly larger and seems to have evolved to imitate the terrestrial birds of Olai. Blending in with their herds, or even pretending to be injured young, they prowl the flatlands in search of men to ambush. In particular, they seem adept at hunting greater Sonkarra, ascended relatives of the owls. There are many varieties of the robber crow, and more seem to appear every day. Each has its own hunting method, but all have one oversized stabbing claw in each hand. Which digit gets the claw seems to vary with no particular rhyme or reason, but it's always there.